is that Anthony Joshua versus Andy Ruiz 2 will be happening in Saudi Arabia, in Diriyah, Saudi Arabia, on the 7th of December to be precise. Yeah? Saudi Arabia of all countries. I know the rumor gathered storm over the last 2-3 days, yeah? But for some reasons, somewhere inside me, I desperately wanted it not to be Saudi Arabia. So instead of making a video going with the rumor that it was going to be Saudi Arabia, I decided to sit out the rumor and wait for official confirmation. Yeah? And luckily for me, I didn't have to wait for too long. It's now official. It's Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia of all countries. Why did Anthony Joshua promise he was going to fight so hard to have the fight in Cardiff, only to end up looking like he fought so hard just to make as much money as possible? Because that is the only reason why this fight is going to Saudi Arabia. The money, the amount of money they must have put on the table to try and have this fight in Saudi Arabia. It's a massive fight. And to have a fight of this magnitude in a human rights abusing country is disgraceful. It's disappointing. Saudi Arabia, a country that executes journalists, that butchered a journalist in an embassy in Turkey, is the country you're taking a fight of this magnitude to? That's ridiculous. Disgusting. A country in 2019 that is still 100% for public beheadings of people. This country publicly beheads people. Yeah? A country that only just last week finally lifted a law that forbids women from traveling out of Saudi Arabia without a man's permission. A woman cannot leave the country, cannot travel out of the country unless their father or their brother or their uncle, a man, has to give them written permission, has to give written consent, saying they are permitting this woman or this lady to travel out of the country. A country that does that only last year or the year before finally decided to allow women to drive. Yes, those are progress, but they are minimal progress compared to the gross human rights abuses that are taking place in that country. A country that sentenced little kids to death for daring to partake in protest against the government. Teenagers, little kids, sentenced to death for daring to take part in a pro-democracy protest against the government. Yeah? People getting abused left, right, center for just wanting a little bit of freedom, for daring to speak out. This is the country Anthony Joshua believes deserves to host a fight of that magnitude. A fight Matchroom is putting together. It's disgraceful. It's disgusting decision. I am still going to watch the fight, but trust me, it's the most useless and disgusting decision Anthony Joshua has ever made. Saudi Arabia does not deserve this fight. Saudi Arabia does not deserve you to honor them with a fight of this magnitude. Yeah, I am disappointed, but that's my opinion.